Okay, here is a brief instructional video on how to play the main parts of Serj Tankian Empty Walls. Well, we begin with a pretty basic riff. Starts on the G string on the 5th fret, then moves up to the 7th, then moves up to the 8th, and you play, just basically follow the tune, you'll get it right. And for the next part, you basically just move the next string down to the higher C string and the same frets, 5, 7 and 8th. And then you move back up to the G string and move it up to the 8th fret, then the 10th, then the 12th, and then back down to the 7th, then the 8th, then the 10th. So basically, if you play the whole lot together, it sounds basically just like this. Yeah, there we go. Now then, for the verse, it's pretty simple. It's all on the C string. You start on this, the frets that are used are the 7th, the 5th, the 3rd, the 2nd, the 10th and the 8th basically. It's the whole set of a scale on the C string. Start with the 7th fret, down to the 5th, to the 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 7th, 10th, 8th, 7th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd with a hammer on. That's basically how you play that bit. And for those of you that don't know how to do the hammer on the C string on the 2nd and 3rd, you can play the 2nd and place your finger on the 3rd after playing it. Just like that. And to the pull off, basically holding on to the 3rd, you basically pull off onto the 2nd. Well, basically the pre-chorus is 4 separate power chords in normal sort of strumming on the G string, starting with the 5th, and to the 3rd, up to the 10th, and to the 8th. It's pretty simple, you get the strumming of it basically right away. Now, what I did is I believe that the bass is in B tuning, so I took it all basically an octave up, so that the open B is basically the 5th, well, around that area, you know. Now for the actual chorus itself, once again, basic strumming in open C power chords, which is C, G, C, F, A, D, going down the strings. Basically, it's in sets of 8 strumming, basically easy to remember. You start off on the open 0, up to the 10th, down to the 8th, and to the 5th. Do that a couple of times and that's the chorus done. Now for the interlude, or the solo, or whatever you want to call it, I improvised that part because there's not really anything to it, and I made something that sounds kind of like fits in with it pretty well, I think. In the previous video I made for the actual song, I kind of messed it up a little bit. So basically it's all on the F string. You start on the 7th, you slide up to the 10th, slide up to the 12th, back down to the 10th, to the 9th, and hammer on pull off on the 10th back down to the 7th. And you start back on the 7th, you slide back up to the 10th, up to the 12th, and then with a few hammer-ons and pull-offs on the 14th to the 12th, down to the 10th, on the 12th, 10th, 9th, then a hammer-on and pull-off on the 9th to the 10th, back down to the 7th. Throwing a bit of vibrato in it, and it sounds basically just fine, so it goes. Now there's the last bit, which you can actually hear the slight guitar behind it. It's just 4 basic notes, the same string, which is the F string. You play the 7th, down to the 5th, up to the 12th, then to the 10th, then to the 7th, then to the 5th, then to the 12th, then to the 10th. And then you go straight back into the chorus.